Hello, my name is host Eric, and I'm here with famous person Carlos. We're discussing life, love, laughter, learning,
Woo!
and Listerine.
Yeah.
Carlos, tell us about one of those things. Life,
Learning.
loving, learning, laughing, or Listerine.
Listerine.
Listerine is a mouthwash.
Yeah. Life.
All right, you're going to tell us about life. How much life does it take before you win a prize?
How much life does it take to win a prize?
Yeah.
I don't know. 10 years?
Okay. In 10 years, Carlos, I'm going to be expecting a surprise, and I'm going to be expecting it from you. If I'm still alive. If I don't still alive, then I don't win the prize.
You'll get the prize. Yeah. You'll get the prize.
Thank you, Carlos. I'm happy to know that you're predicting that I'm going to continue living for 10 years. It's reassuring. Will you be giving yourself a prize too?
Why is I going to give myself a prize?
Well, you should, don't you think? If you are alive in 10 years, you should give yourself a prize too.
Every day is good.
Every day is a prize.
Yeah.
Not just a gift, it's a prize. A gift is something somebody gives you. A prize is something you win.
Oh, yeah. Well, you mean win like luck or like by working? Like you know, when I was doing that's working.
Yeah, no, you win it by with a wink and a tip of the hat to old Mr. Universe. That's how you do it. So what else has been going on besides visiting the A&E television miniseries crew at the Meth Flop House, and besides crashing your car? What?
I've been working with way more producers. I actually went to a real studio for my music, and I already have like 3 songs actually done. I can't get to them because I got a new phone. Unless I bring my laptop and I can't get to them.
Well, that's very encouraging. I'm glad to hear you're getting work done. Getting work done is always a accomplishment, a good accomplishment in and of itself.
And I gotta read that word.
You got to raise at work. Things are looking up, Carlos. It sounds like you're on the road to success. Um, what's your? Do you have? How big are your life plans? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? What? What do you think in terms
What do
of?
you mean lifetime? Like,
What do you think in terms of? Like, are you thinking? I know just generally what I want to sort of be working towards. I'm just going to do it and not worry about how long it's going to take or what the process is. Or are you thinking I got a goal? Or are you thinking my goal is just to do the work I enjoy doing, or what?
well, I actually do enjoy the work I'm doing. I'm pretty sure the longer I stay, the more I'll get raises and like promotions. So I have a pretty good job. I have a pretty good stable job. So, and again, I guess my goal is just pretty much to buy a house and save up for retirement for my daughter or something. That's the goal. And my music is just something I like doing, but hopefully it gets me somewhere
Right, right. Now, I don't remember what type you are, Carlos. Do you remember what I said before?
from
I'm going to try to type you now, though. I think you're an INFP.
there. INFP? Why? What is that?
Well, it means.
Who's a famous person in INFP?
That's a good question. Famous INFPs. Let me look it up. Lorenz, do you know any famous INFPs? Or anything about
No.
INFPs? You want to say? You know?
I know INFPs are like aren't they musicians or some shit? They're what?
They tend to say again, Lorenz.
Yeah, don't they tend to be musicians? I don't know. Or they're the listener type also as well.
The listener type. Let's see. Famous INFPs.
The Pope. What personality type is the Pope?
Let's see. Lorenz's mom's face. That is so crazy. Your mom's face is an INFP, Lorenz. Did you know that?
No.
Now you do.
Damn.
Alright, here's some people who are INFPs. A. Milne, Albert Camus. I heard Camus on somebody. No, that was Sartre. Albert Schweitzer, Aldous Huxley, Amy Tan, Andrew Garfield, Andy Warhol, Annie Dillard, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, Audrey Hepburn, Augustine, Bill Watterson, Bjork, C.S. Lewis, Chloe Sevigny, David Lynch, David Simon, Dick Clark, Donna Reed, Edgar Allan Poe, Fiona Apple. Fiona Apple's really. I'm really impressed with Fiona Apple of back in like 1990, whatever. Florence Welch, Fred Rogers, Fred Savage, George Orwell, Hans Christian Andersen, Heath Ledger, Helen Keller, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Ian Curtis, J.R.R. Tolkien, James Herriot, James Taylor, Jarvis Cocker, Jean-Jacques Rousseau.
Oh, I know that.
Jim Morrison, John F. Kennedy Jr., John Kerry, John Lennon, John Milton, Johnny Depp.
John Lennon?
That's what it says. Nice. Jude Law, Kurt Cobain, Lisa Kudrow, Louis C.K., Mary Kate Olsen, Mia Farrow, Mia Wasikowska, Morrissey, Neil Diamond, Nicolas Cage, Princess Diana, Robert Pattinson, Scott Bakula, Soren Kierkegaard, you got a good philosopher, Teller from Penn and Teller, Terrence Malick, Tom York, Tim Burton, Tom Brokaw, Tori Amos, Vincent Van Gogh, Virginia Woolf, William Blake, and William Shakespeare. Those are famous INFPs. But I will tell you this, Carlos, you need to be a little bit careful because INFPs, you'll notice a lot of people on this list killed themselves. So when you don't indulge in those kind of thoughts at all, because your type, I have a problem. Okay, I might make an impulse purchase at the store that I regret later. You have the same problem with killing yourself, so don't do it and don't think about it, right? Because nobody who's ever killed themselves has anybody ever said that was a good idea. Unless they're like 90 years old or something, has cancer or whatever. But whatever it is you think is going on, you need to tell yourself, this is temporary, and I need to stop thinking about it, and I need to go watch some episodes of Talking with Famous People.
I just think about it like, death is gonna come either way. Why hurry?
Right. Remember, you can kill yourself if you do it this way. If you kill yourself by watching a toxic amount of Talking with Famous People, so you attempt to kill yourself by watching so much Talking with Famous People that you literally die, then that is an acceptable way for you to try to kill yourself. Okay? I don't think you're going to succeed.
That's what it says in the Constitution.
Yeah, I don't think you'll succeed, but if you watch that much Talking with Famous People, well, then you'll know if you can survive that, you can survive anything. All right. Anything else we want to talk about? INFP. I'm pretty sure you are an INFP. You know what else INFPs are famous for? Getting their feelings hurt easily. You get your feelings hurt easily? You don't?
A lot.
A lot. Oh.
That's why I thought if it was similar.
Right.
He's similar.
He's similar to you a little bit, but he's INFP. I think you're INFP for sure. So, okay, Carlos, that actually makes you Now I'm getting a sense of what INFPs are like. Until maybe a week ago or something, I really felt as though I'd never met or didn't know any INFPs. Then I interviewed one. I took a good sense of them a little bit, and now I've talked to you about it. And I know you reasonably well. I've interacted with you enough that I feel like I understand INFPs a lot better now that I know. If somebody says, "Well, do you know any INFPs?" Yes, I do. I know Carlos. Carlos is an INFP. So you're my poster child INFP from now on, Carlos. Congratulations.
You rap name INFP.
Hmm?
You rap name.
What's your new rap name?
INFP.
Carline FP. You should call yourself Carline FP.
Carolina.
Carolina FP.
He's coming out. Your mom's coming out.
Or you could be Carlosina. Or you could be INF Parlos.
Fuck yeah.
INF Parlos. Okay.
What? How does their friendship work?
How does your friendship work? ENFJ and INFP. Okay, let's see. INFP's got FINE, and then it's got well you guys should be best friends. You need to be like, oh, thank God for him. Okay? And I'm going to accept his friendship gratefully. Because you guys and you make him your job. You have certain jobs to do with him, right? Because of the nature of the relationship, which is you need to make him chill the fuck out. Alright? Just like okay, Abraham, you need to stop tweaking out about how I got this plan and this whatever, and I want to do this and this. He's got aspirational NE in his third slot. So, no, you got NI. My bad. Who has aspirational NE? Anyway, you got NI. But the point is, in your job is to do what you're doing. You're doing your job fine. I think you probably do your job fine too. Then I just never see you interacting with him when I'm not here, right?
I'm pretty chill. I'm around Carlos. Like I'm pretty down there.
He slows you down,
Not like that.
and you
but-
take him out of his house, where he's busily feeling resentful about something. in the INFP way. I know what I'll do right now. I'll sit at home and feel resentful about something. That'll be productive. My job is to tease the INFP to help them take themselves a little less seriously. That's all. But Abraham's job is to repair any damage I've done after. Yeah, but you guys should be perfect match like me and Corey. You're the versions. You ENFJ and INFP are the corollaries to ENTP and INFJ, which is me and Corey. So you guys should be best friends. You're the type that's called the lazy types. You make each other lazy.
What? What girlfriend personality type shit Carlos versus?
Oh, Carlos needs a. You need a ESTJ. You need a bossy ass bitch, dude. Oh, I feel sorry for you with your ESTJ wife. Your ideal wife is ESTJ wife, but that sounds awful to me. It does. It might sound awful to you, but it's actually exactly what you need in life. Just like I need somebody who mothers and clucks over me, who goes, "Oh, Eric, it's okay," and I can go like, "I feel sad," and my wife goes, "Oh, sweetie, come here." Basically, I need like a mom type woman, right? I need ESFJ. You need ESTJ. That's like, all right, Carlos, look at the chore wheel. It's your day to do this. You need that kind. Chop chop. I'm in charge here. I got my TE in the top slot. I got my SI to keep in charge of schedules. And Carlos, you are going to fall in line and execute my protocols. Let's go.
I keep forgetting what mine was. It's like IN something.
You're supposed to have a IS. You're supposed to have ISTP. So you're supposed to have a basement overlord type.
What's the S?
Who's your match, Lorenz? You need an ESFJ. You need my ex-wife. You can have her, by the way. I'm done with her.
What does the S stand for?
Sensory. The S stands for sensory. That means, look, we're about meaning. They're about objects.
Sounds really cool. I don't know what to think of that.
Well, the dual thing is important. I believe in the dual thing entirely. Well, look, there's two levels in which that occurs, Lorenz. It's the infantile sexual thing is about how you behave with each other sexually, I think. I don't really know, but I think that's what they mean by it. But by which I mean one person is selfish. Is a degree of selfishness? There are two vectors. I think that measures selfishness and control. But the control thing is tied to the selfishness thing, right? So it's kind of hard to separate them. But regardless, what it basically says we're selfish. We're selfish lovers, ENTPs and INTPs, which is fine. I don't mind that. If that's the worst thing I ever get accused of in life, I got no problem with that. I'll be as selfish as I want if I get the kind of woman who wants me to be selfish, which is an ISFJ.
You're INTJ.
Meanwhile, as far as the caretaking, I obviously don't need caretaking. I don't have it right now. But what I want, well, then that just means you're trying too hard.
Hey, Eric, what was it again?
INTP, right?
TJ, no?
For you?
For her? No.
He needs an ESTJ.
No, personality type.
Yeah,
He's an INFP.
Oh, INFP. I don't get it.
Hey, Eric, can you pull something?
Yeah, here.
Can we put your left finger?
Well, you might say it just doesn't work like that. And you could choose to experience the world as that way. But I do know this. And when I'm hanging out with my friend of 40 plus years, who I've determined is an ISFJ, my dual, that because we're males, non-intimate with each other, that relationship works fucking beautifully. And I didn't even notice it until I was hanging out with him to go to this party, the way that we operate with each other. Like, there's this thing that happens where I'm annoyed at something, but may or may not be voicing it. He expresses some sort of like frustration at this logjam thing. Then I go, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go in there and tear shit up. And he goes, well, how about we do it in a non-tear shit up way? And I go, yeah, okay, let's do that. And like, that's how ENTP and ISFJ are supposed to interact. I trust him completely, he trusts me completely, because we've been friends for such a long time. And so we tend to defer to each other in our strength areas and correctly anticipate that the other person will defer to us in our strength areas. And when both parties behave accordingly, it's perfect because you're perfectly balanced. You have the same conscious functions in the complementary order, and the ultimate impact of that is if both parties defer as they ought to, then you become a complete person on that team. You have a corollary complete person on the other team that's not you, that uses the other four conscious functions. But you're functionally a complete person when you operate as a couple with somebody with whom you're intimate, and that person is your dual, provided and only provided both people are fairly actualized. If shit's getting in the way, like ego stuff or whatever, or for me, I basically trained my ESFJ ex-wife to not trust me in the areas where she most needed to trust me. Where she needed to defer, I was untrustworthy because I was drunk all the time. And where I needed to defer, she was untrustworthy because she was locking everything down so much because I was so volatile. So those relationships aren't guaranteed to work. Both parties have to be very open to their own shortcomings, to sort of acknowledging those and operating in the world accordingly, and saying this is an area where you probably do know better. And it's like, to me, cognitive function model allows me to interact with others so much more effectively than I previously would have, and I did in that marriage. I just didn't understand any of this shit. When I went to that party in the loaf, on the loaf, I spent a good amount of time sitting, not making videos, not even talking to anybody, and just watching other people and sort of typing them based on their behavior and thinking about those sort of SE land kind of cues that I normally don't think about. Being able to understand what it means to shift perspectives in that fashion, to attend to what's actually happening in front of you, to not immediately leap from what you see and observe to changing the meaning of it, which is what NE wants to do, to take it as data and to understand that you can let your NE loose on it later. Those sort of things are made possible by metacognition, and I think that there's an ability between two partners who are speaking the same metacognitive language, which is to say, if we understand things through these values to which we attend, which is what it is. The cognitive function is a manner of attention. Then we understand how we set the frame to begin with. We say, okay, like here, this is what our relationship is supposed to do. This is part of the biggest problem with relationships in general. People think that's a bad thing to say. I mean, this is what we're both supposed to do in this relationship is a good thing to say. Not supposed to, like, here's the rules from some third party, but supposed to because biologically our functions complement each other in this following fashion, and that's why if you're making statements about something regarding that other person's emotions, I should listen to you because you have FE done, or something like that, It helps.
Yes.
Lawrence, you got your mic on and you're typing. What? Are you typing some comment here, or are you typing something? Oh, yes, you're typing something else. What do you think?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Anyway,
I think I need a nice ENTJ.
you want a nice ENTJ?
Yeah.
That's your alter ego type. That's like saying I want an INTJ. I don't want an INTJ as a mate, although it wouldn't be the worst relationship in the world. But yeah, I want an ISFJ.
I want an INTP.
What are you supposed to have?
I don't.
ISTP. ISTPs are very similar to INTPs, except they're less expansive in their thinking, more concrete.
Well, ISTPs and INTPs, like I see it as like ISTPs are like mechanics, gears, and all that, and then
Right.
INTPs are like theory, books, abstractions.
Yeah,
You just geek out over different things.
right. Yeah, they're a little. I mean, the bottom line is ISTPs are NTPs without the wildness.
Isn't ISTP like the badass type?
They're just very practical and effective and on point and shit like that. That's all. So, Carlos, you want one more of these or what?
Yeah.
Here.
You're not gonna lie or what?
I'm not gonna lie. I have one more.
Please, Carlos, I've asked you so many times. Please, lie. I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. But you know how I hate the truth. So, Carlos, have you decided what your race is yet?
Huh?
Have you decided what your race is yet, or are you gonna go with undefined?
My race?
Yeah, your race.
I'm Mexican.
Me too. That's so great. You can change that if you want. I've changed it a few times recently. Why?
A race.
Yeah, well, I used to be undefined. I was decided when I decided to have a race, I became African American for about a day,
What the?
and it was great. I loved being
How do
African
you change your
American.
race?
Well,
Race is a social construct.
I,
Mm.
It's
no,
made social.
no.
Yes.
Just because I get to change it doesn't mean it's a social construct. Okay,
No, I'm
it's
saying
real.
race itself, not the fact that you're
A
doing
race is real. I have a biological predisposition to obesity because of my other race, which is USA race.
You would say
USA
No.
race, we're genetically predisposed to obesity. So I'm a little worried about that. But
America is a social construct.
I have two races. I'm not a mix. I'm both 100%.
Yeah.
Goodbye. I'm Mexican and USA race. And I'm going to have USA race day, I think. USA race all the way day. Where people who are members of the USA race can clap their hands together and say, USA race, we are a bunch of racists. Thanks for watching Talking with Fans, people.